as himself. But here he is as E.L. Wisty, of course, Peter Cook.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is E.L. Wisty speaking, and I have a very important announcement to make. Perhaps the most important announcement of my life. I am dead. I died several weeks ago, and you're watching a telerecording. This telerecording was made shortly before my death. Otherwise, this broadcast would not be possible. As this is a jolly, fun-filled family programme, I do not wish to depress you by dwelling on any morbid details. Suffice it to say that I am no longer with you, and I have passed on to pastures new. During my life, I have attempted many things, including knitting, painting silver fir cones, and dominating the world. Perhaps I have not been totally successful. I doubt if my silver fir cones will be auctioned at Sotheby's. I have a feeling that my finely ribbed woolen nightie that I gave to Auntie Madge for Christmas will not be acclaimed by the critics. But in one ambition, I have achieved complete success, namely, the total domination of the world. Every action you take, every word that you say, is a direct result of my uncanny powers. Why did you kick the cat last Tuesday? The answer is me. Why is the country plunged in industrial chaos? The answer is me. Why will the midi-skirt never catch on? The answer is me. Why did I kick the bucket a few weeks ago? The answer is you. Now that I've dominated you completely, now that the world is in my grasp, it seems a fitting time to go. I know that some of you watching now will be muttering things to each other like, that old twit never had any power over me. I didn't kick the cat last Tuesday because of him. But you're wrong. There are uncanny forces in me that can make you do anything. And if you happen to be jumping to your feet saying, what a load of rubbish, let's switch to the BBC, it is because I have willed it. Many men have tried to dominate the world. Genghis Khan, Attila the Hun, Eloise Hitler as he was before the operation. But they all went about it in such an obvious way, starting wars, killing people, shouting. I've never killed anyone. ITV asked me to appear live on this programme, but I said no. I'd rather appear dead. So here I am, or rather, here I'm not. But how can you tell what is live or what is recorded? In fact, how can you tell what the bloody hell is going on anywhere? If you'd like to know the answer to any of these questions, write to me. Care of God, South Heaven, W1BXC. And please enclose a stamped addressed envelope.
Our studio guest tonight is Peter Cook, who today was elected Football of the Year 1970. Many, many congratulations, Peter.
Thank you, Jimmy. Would you mind using camera 2, because this is my bad profile and I'd rather it is on this. Do you like the barnet, actually? It's done by Luigi of Neasden. It's quite nice, isn't it?
Yes, it's looking very nice, actually.
Thank you.
A lot of people have said that this competition was rigged. What do you say about that?
Oh, Jimmy, you know, throughout the world there'll always be knockers. There'll always be knockers, and there always will be. And the fact that my mother, my father, 2 brothers and 3 sisters are on the panel, I think had no influence on the result whatsoever.
Well, now let's look back at those last exciting moments of that competition, Peter.
I could watch it all night.
Footballer of the Year 1970, Peter Cook of Real Inter Neasden.
Well, as you can imagine, Jimmy, I was I was knocked out. Knocked out.
Yes, I can see that.
Completely knocked out. Here comes Mel. Yeah.
Did you feel that when he placed the crown on your head?
Yeah, he really bangs the crown on your head, does Mel. Yeah. Yeah, well, he gave me a right bang on the lips there, I'll say that for him, Jimmy.
I could see you enjoyed it, but what I'm really interested in, you're a very wealthy sportsman already.
Yeah,
Do you believe that footballers should advertise commercial products?
Well, let's put it this way, Jimmy. I would only advertise a product I really believe in. And I really believe in that deodorant. I mean, there is nothing puffy about a stick deodorant. Nothing puffy at all. I carry it on and off the field, especially on the field, because when the ref's got your back turned, you can bang it in the goalkeeper's eye.
Do you approve of that kind of gamesmanship?
Well, let's face it, Jimmy, football is a man's game. You've played it, it's a man's game, and you go to win. There are certain things at Indonesia which we'd never do. For example, we'd never use tactical nuclear weapons. We'd never use CS gas, except perhaps in the Fairs Cup.
What is your feeling about late tackles?
Well, my feeling about late tackles, Jimmy, is, you know, on a slippery surface with a 50-50 situation, you can't help it sometimes. But what I do disapprove of very strongly is the very, very, very late tackle. Like, for example, when Ron Nee went in over the top 4 hours after the game in the pub when we were having a drink. Now, I think he deserved to be suspended.
And was he suspended after that?
Yeah, me and the lads hung him up from one of the rafters for 2 hours.
Indonesia have shown tremendous improvement this season, really remarkable. What do you put that down to?
Well, basically, we have changed our tactics, you see. Last season, we used to play a 3-4-3 formation, and now we're playing a 4-3-3 formation.
What does that mean in layman's terms?
I've got no idea. It's what the manager tells us. No, basically, we at Indonesia, we have 2 strikers, 1 sweeper, a midfield worker and 6 hooligans.
Peter, you're a very unobtrusive player. You know, sometimes I think the fans don't really appreciate the running off the ball that you do.
Yeah, I'm very unobtrusive. I do run off the ball. Some people, including my mother, have said I'm 20 years ahead of my time. The fact is, I like running off the ball, I like running off the pitch, I like running down the pub, I like having a drink. But a lot of people don't notice these little subtle touches.
Well, we can look at some of those lovely subtle touches now in slow motion.
Yeah.
There you are, just about to emerge onto the field of play. And you see you're resisting tackles there.
Yeah.
2 or 3 nasty tackles there I can see, but it's this movement that comes next. It's one of the best movements of the hip that I think I've ever seen. There it is. A sideways move of the hip, and watch the elevation there as you jump up in the air, left foot to right, and now ghost along there on a possible overlap.
Yeah, and I then went on to penetrate one of the tightest defences in the north of London.
What worries me, really, with these off-the-field activities, I mean, don't you find they interfere with your game a little bit?
Yeah, well, look, if you're, you know, going to play football, you've got to keep yourself in training, haven't you? I mean, you can't go out every night of the week dancing and drinking and chatting up the birds and doing all that kind of stuff, and then turn up on Saturday and play 90 minutes of football. So if I've spent a week dancing and drinking, chatting up the birds and doing all that, I don't turn up Saturday. It wouldn't be fair to me, wouldn't be fair to the boys, wouldn't be fair to the manager, wouldn't be fair to the girls, would it?
I'm sure that's highly commendable. One final question I'd like to put to you. What would you do, really, to bring the crowds back if there was one thing that you could do in football?
Oh, basically, Jimmy, the crowds come to see goals. You know, that's what they want to see, goals. I am a goal grabber, and goal poacher, call it what you like. And they want to see goals, and these days with tightly knit defences, scientifically worked out, we're very tight at the back, aren't we? I mean, you're very tight at the back, I've noticed that. Everybody's very tight at the back. And if you're going to poke it in, it's very hard. Now, in my view, the only way you can get more goals is make the goal a bit larger. Enlarge the goalposts and put the crossbar up a bit higher. That's the only way you can do it.
And what size would you suggest for the goals?
Size of the goals. Well, I'd leave this to the impartial committee, you know, Sir Alf Ramsey, the Queen Mother and that sort of thing. I'd say round about the size of Malcolm Ellison's mouth.